There is quite a moving song which in student days we would sing in prayer mode. Majesty, worship His Majesty. There is a reference to that majesty in the opening collect, and we pray for the grace to serve it worthily. At this season, our eyes go upwards. Remember how, as the Lord disappeared from human sight, the angels looked down upon them and reminded them that He would come back in the same manner. The first Christian martyr, the deacon Stephen, gazed into heaven and saw the Son of Man standing where? At the right hand of the Father, in majesty precisely. And at the end of time, that is what we will have to answer before. Nuda cruda, the soul without a defense except its merits and demerits, will answer without human popularity or support, as He is before the Alpha and the Omega. All the rest is secondary. And so, if that is the case, this moment in time in which we look upwards and also we look for the coming of the Spirit, this first novena ever given to the Church, it is a moment to see where we're at. In concrete terms, what can I do to make sure that should He knock and call today, I am quite ready to go? As I went to the church this morning at 9 o'clock for my weekly confession and encounter with the parish priest before the Mass there, the sacristan showed me a picture of a young man of the parish, 25, who just the other day was going with his girlfriend, although actually he got on ahead in his motorbike and she was behind in the car. And as he drove along on his motorbike, a tractor came out and they crashed, and he went at that speed into eternity, leaving the girlfriend in bits but alive. That hit me. I have no idea whether he was ready to go, but we too can actually be involved in a lethal accident, not of our own making. Bear that in mind, you drivers. Each time you go to the wheel, pray. It's important to ask for protection each time you drive a car. In that context, there are certain things which are secondary. This week, I was forcefully reminded of it by a letter. Real letters are rare nowadays. People communicate by other means, and usually the communication is less profound, less enduring, because it's not meant to endure. It's part of our present mentality. Throw away. This letter, coming from the other side of the world, New Zealand, contained 2 pages of dense thought. And one dwelt on this, which I share with you. It's the fact that young people especially are running over the gift of time. They are speeding up, as it were, the passage of time, and they're not feeling it. It's true also that they're coming to the end of it more quickly quite often. I think you know why and how. Youth is a blunder. All of us tend to look back and say, well, I wish I'd done that bit better. Listen to this, which I got from a kitchen the other day. Teenagers, tired of being harassed by your stupid parents? Act now! Move out! Get a job! Pay your own way! While you still know everything. And that same speed, that same lack of depth, has by osmosis, to please the young, entered also the place where man meets God and his divine majesty. Do you think it's just human, just social? By now, the places where we can calmly engage in depth and with great interiority with our King and our God in church on a Sunday are sometimes few and far between. It's not. It's the work, very clever, of the one who hates the divine majesty and us to boot. This is actually a carefully prepared volume, and it's full of good because it has tried to be balanced. It's tried to please everyone, and therefore it's taken from all our heritage, including, thank God, the golden oldies, which are still valid and often deeply prayerful. But then, and this is with ecclesiastical approval and authority, we have the likes of this, a hymn which we are allowed to sing in the Eucharist. The Lord said to Noah, there's going to be a floody. Lord said to Noah, there's going to be a floody. Get these children out of the muddy children of the Lord. And on it goes for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 glorious verses. And yet, we approve to please the young. Actually, it doesn't work. In our monastery in Italy, we were specializing in youth ministry because we were all young. We were all younger than I was, except the prior. And we had hundreds and hundreds coming to us. And sometimes the father who was responsible for the youth ministry especially would bend over backwards for them. Okay, they had their own thing. But actually, it's not really what they wanted when they came to us. And we could see that was the case. How? When we also brought them by the 100 into our Abbey Church for the High Mass on a Sunday, they were quite happy, actually, to be lost for an hour and a half in clouds of incense, earthquakes of organ music, and depths of unaccompanied, ancient, very beautifully executed Gregorian chant. And even now, when I hear it again, whether on YouTube, it jerks the heart. Beauty is deep and has a deep effect, and is not replaced by the shoddy and the happy clapping. And secretly, the soul of man, whatever his age, knows it. Actually, as a child, I knew it. Do you know why? There is something about the human voice which is deeply, deeply healing. As you know, in Wales, if you put people in church, get them to sing, and automatically they'll split into harmony and raise the roof and repeat and repeat. And a child, I remember, is deeply moved by the effect. And I remember how I would look to see, when it came to the final hymn, the great organist would pull out the stops one after the other and make the whole church vibrate. And they'd all hit the roof, and the men would go into bass, and the sopranos go into soprano, and the child felt it. This was not just of the earth. Why? Man has found a way of plugging in to divine majesty through the channeling and harnessing of the powers of nature which come directly from the beauty of the Blessed Trinity. We need to claim our heritage and not throw it away just like that, to please what we think of the youth of tomorrow. I just conclude where I started. It's linked. Way back in student days, our good Carmelite chaplain, as we had a vigil one night for Advent with Blessed Eucharist as well, gave us this teaching. We had lots of time for prayer that night, interspersed with calm music, and he said this to us, which I've never forgotten. We are caught up in an aggressive movement of time. We're in an engrenage where we can't stop. We call it burnout. And he invited us not to spend our life in burnout, but to chisel out niches of beauty and rest, to keep the balance, and have life in depth. I wrote this morning after coming across that letter, because it hits each one here who's in any way computerized. Our life can be sacrificed to a few square meters. That can drain our mind, our time, and yes, our soul. And our quality of life will be there within a small screen, and we would have not felt the passage of time. And we will wake up 1 second after it's run out, shocked that it went so quickly and so superficially.